PokeMMO offers a lot of different ways to spend your time. You can money farm, you can item farm, you can look for shiny Pokemon, you can do PvP if you hate yourself enough. There's a lot of really cool options. However, one that is very overlooked is actually parts of the storyline. Now, I'm not just talking about grinding through the storyline so that way you can hurry and plant more Leppas like a psychopath. Like if you're like me and you want 12 characters to plant Leppa berries, but there are some really cool side quests that not only build the world of PokeMMO, but also can occupy your time and give you some pretty fun rewards. So I just wanted to start a new series, kind of like I did with the Shiny Hunter side hustles, called PokeMMO Sidequests. This is going to be episode 1, and we are going to be looking at the 7 Sages PokeMMO side quest. My name is Young Cabbage. If you enjoy PokeMMO content, please consider giving me a subscribe and commenting down below what side quest you would like to see me cover next. So getting into it, let's start at the very beginning. Who are the 7 Sages? So the 7 Sages are the 7 old men that essentially serve Lord N or are part of Team Plasma. You have Ghetsis, Gorm, Giallo, Bronius, Zinzolin, Ryoku, and Rood. The first thing right off the bat that you realize is, one, all of their parents hated them because all of these names are just so bad, but they are important to the storyline because they are vital parts of Team Plasma. You find out they each make their own little appearance in different parts of the storyline, especially Ghetsis giving his speeches and being, of course, the final boss fight of the game. Sorry to spoil that if any of you, the game's like 20 years old, you're fine. But they're also relevant after the story because after Team Plasma disbands, after you defeat Ghetsis and, you shut down the operation, those 7 Sages actually flee into, not the wild, but they flee into the overworld, hiding from the Looker, or, the guy who dresses up as your mom for some reason after you beat the storyline and gives you the super rod. They're all hiding from him. They're all kind of trying to find their purpose in life now that Team Plasma is disbanded. However, we are going to put an end to their shenanigans once and for all. So now that we know why we are looking for these Sages, let's go over their locations in game. First is going to be Ghetsis. You actually get to skip this one. You defeat Ghetsis as part of the storyline. He obviously fights you right after N as the final boss of this game, so it's a non-optional boss, right? Like, you have to fight Ghetsis in order to progress. So I'm just going to assume you guys have all done that. That's the first Sage knocked off the list. The second is going to be Gorm. Gorm is going to be in the Dreamyard, so you're going to want to head over to Straighten City. We'll fly over there super quickly, get on the bike, and you want to head to the right into the Dreamyard. This is where you can capture Munna, the best Pokemon in the game. You want to go down here where this rock is. However, I'm assuming that you don't have this area completed. So what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the right, go up to the right here, and down these stairs. Now, there are going to be a few trainers down here. Their levels range from around, I believe, 48 to 55, but with some careful movements, you actually can avoid a lot of these trainers, like I just did there, because you want to head over to this staircase in the bottom right, which will lead you to the back of the Dreamyard. Now, you can see this creepy old man. If you guys have been back here before, this is where a lot of alpha spawn. You probably have popped into this guy. I'm pretty sure he just jumps out at you no matter how close. Okay, so you do have to get pretty close to him, but then he runs out and he tries to scare you for some reason. He says, "Boo. Were you surprised? Oh, trainer who destroyed our castle, I was quite surprised by you. If you surprise them, both Pokemon and people leave themselves open. While they're in a state of surprise, they can't use their powers like they normally would. Our intention was to surprise people by making our castle appear, showing off legendary Pokemon, and at that moment, we plan to deeply impress people's hearts with the awesome power of Team Plasma and bring brilliance to the new world," right? He monologues for a little bit. I'm actually just going to skip this. But then he says, take this with you. Actually gives you Swords Dance as a TM, which is pretty big. I believe Swords Dance on the GTL, let's see here. Swords Dance on the GTL is like 30k, I think, if you buy it. So 30k just for coming to the back of the Dreamyard off rip already is a pretty good investment of your time. And then, of course, after that, Looker will pop up, say, now Ghetsis notwithstanding, there yet remains but 5 of the 7 Sages still at large. So that's the first one checked off the list, and you do get Swords Dance from him. So now we're going to head over to Giallo, I think, Giallo, we're going to call him. And you're just going to head straight up here. You will need Surf and Waterfall for this Sage, so just keep that in mind. I am bringing repels for the sake of the video, but you don't have to use them. And you're just going to surf on this water and go straight up this waterfall here, right to the left of this raid den. He's just going to be chilling up here, so you walk up and interact with him. It looks like my strings kicked in, so we didn't have to listen to this guy's dialogue. But he just is going to give you the TM bulk up, which is cool. That's another 20k. Of course, Looker runs up, thanks you, says there are still 4 at large, which moves us to Bronius. This guy is going to be in Chargestone Cave, so definitely make sure you have some kind of repel Pokemon. And I would actually recommend bringing a Pokemon with the move Dig. I have my little Gibble here. As you can see, we've got Dig, just because you are going to go all the way to the bottom of the cave here. You're going to push the stone that way, go around that rock for no reason, and then all the way down here at the very base of the cave, you're going to find Bronius. Now, for Bronius, you are going to have 2 trainer battles with Team Plasma members. He says he wants to test you one final time. This trainer fights you, and then she will fight you as well. But I'll skip past this. Their Pokemon are around, I believe, level 50 to 60. So just keep that in mind whenever you go into it. Make sure you have a high-level Pokemon, whether it's a gym run Pokemon or, you know, even like a Porygon that you defeated the region with. You should just pretty easily sweep, but I just want to make sure you guys are prepared for everything. Wait, really quickly, this is kind of funny. So this girl runs up and says, "Because of you, I'm an X Team Plasma member. Being an X doesn't sound cool, does it? How are you going to make it up to me?" So just kind of funny dialogue. All right, after you defeat the Team Plasma grunts, Bronius will monologue for a little bit, says thank you for reminding me of, you know, what a trainer is like or some crap like that. And he gives you rock polish, which we're going to add another 20k to our total, which should bring our total to 70k. Now, these might be untradeable. I actually believe that they are. Let me look this up. Let me look up rock polish. Yeah, so these are untradeable, so the sell price would be 100. However, if you are into PvP, or, you know, a lot of these moves are pretty helpful for any Pokemon, especially for raids, you're essentially saving X amount of money every single TM you get. So it's definitely worth your time. We're definitely going to break 100k, I believe. So easy 100k an hour strategy. New money-making method, if you will. All right, after the Looker shows up and kicks them out, simply pull out your Pokemon with Dig or your Dig Ocarina, and you're just going to leave the cave. That brings us to 3 more members of Team Plasma. So next we are going to go to Driftvale City, and we're going to head to the cold storage where we can find Zinzolin. I think this guy's name is the coolest by far, but Zinzolin is just going to be all the way in the back of this cave. If you guys remember playing through the storyline, you actually fight this guy, or no, you don't fight him, but you actually find him in here earlier with huddled together with a bunch of Team Plasma grunts. As part of the storyline, you have to fight them inside this like back storage unit. So it should be an area that you're familiar with. It's just all the way back, and then you follow the route that I just took for the puzzle, and then go into the storage container here where you will find Zinzolin. He says, so you returned. This guy monologues forever, so we're just gonna go ahead and speed this up. All right, and then after he's done, you know, writing his book with you fortunately listening, he's going to give you Hone Claws, and if you search for Hone Claws, that's like another 15k. So another 15k that you don't have to spend. Then, of course, after that, Looker's going to run in, kill the party, and take him to prison. So, you know, super cool. But that's going to bring our total to around, I believe, 85k. But we are going to go find the last 2 sages now. So let me head out this cave. And now the last 2 sages are going to be Ryoku and Rood. Now for Ryoku, he's probably the most annoying one to get to because he's going to be all the way in Relic Castle. If you don't know where that is, you can simply follow, you know, my character on screen. And then I would recommend, if you're trying to do this as quickly as possible, just going ahead and popping repels. Okay, and then you're going to want to head all the way to the north in the Desert Resort, which will lead us by all these, you know, sleeping Zen form Darumakas. All right, and then once you head all the way to the north of Desert Resort, you're going to find the entrance to Relic Castle. So you're going to head underneath here. Remember that you need to walk over these sand pits, otherwise they will pull you beneath. So now we are going to head down the stairs this way. I guess we're going to be following this guy with the little Joltik. We're going to keep heading over here all the way down. And then we're going to go to the bottom left sand pit on this floor, which leads us to the final pitfall, which opens us up to the basement. So now what you're going to do is you're going to enter in here, and you should find a Team Plasma Grunt right here. He freaks out and says, oh my gosh, like, you know, thinks you're stalking him or something. So you're just going to give chase to him this way, where he will ambush you. And he throws you right into a battle. So you're going to want to make sure to have some kind of Pokemon to take this down. Again, it should just be level 50-ish. Yeah, all these Pokemon are going to be around level 50. Really should be pretty easy. Just even using your Elite Four team, like, you should be able to sweep. So we're going to go ahead and use Flamethrower on this thing. Just get it out of here. All right, then he'll say, Ryoku of the 7 Sages is looking for a Pokemon inside Relic Castle. I was his lookout, so he wouldn't be interrupted. Stupid, stupid, stupid me. Plus weak. Also, did I mention stupid? That's actually all adds to a nincompoop. Wow, that is some horrible negative self-talk. After that, you can just jump on your bike. You're going to go down and left. Pretty much, if you can go down, go down. If you can go left is the way I think about it. But down and left, down and left, down and left. And then all of a sudden, you will be led to this room where you can see Ryoku here. So you talk to him here. He says, oh, I'm here to catch Volcarona, blah, 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 right? Explains all of this stuff. He just talks about how he's upset that Team Plasma's over and that he no longer needs this. Gives you Nasty Plot. Now, Nasty Plot, I believe, is another 30k that you can save. Nasty Plot's going to be very, very big for setup Pokemon. Like, for example, you can teach Nasty Plot to a Porygon Z, which is going to be very useful in raids. I would definitely, especially hold on to that TM. After this, you know, the Looker comes in and takes this guy, says that there's one more. And then you can simply use your Pokemon with Dig one more time and quickly escape Relic Castle. Now, this brings us to our final Sage. And I know I said that the last one was the most annoying to get to, but for me personally, this is going to be the most irritating one to get to. You're going to want to fly to Akumula Town, whatever, however you say that. And you're going to head down here, and you're going to head over to Route 18. Now, how you get there, you're going to make sure you need Surf. I don't think you need any other HMs apart from Surf, but we will see in just a second. You're going to head all the way through here, go to the bottom left. There are going to be a lot of trainers on this route, like swimming around. So make sure that you either have a high-level Pokemon with you or that you've already defeated these trainers. And then you're going to go to the bottom path. The bottom path will take you over to this main island. You can simply just jump on your bike again, head all the way to the left, go down these stairs, and all the way down to the beach where you will find Rood, who is the last of the sages that we're looking for. Talking to him, he'll give you double team. Again, this one, luckily we were able to skip all of the monologuing. Looker comes up and says, thank you a lot, yoked cabbage. On a topic I must speak to you. Having received such a report of someone far from here who has seen a person like N and a dragon Pokemon. I'm on my way to verify the veracity of this information. We will meet again one day. Now, don't get yourself hung up on these words, because if you guys have not played through the mainline games, Pokemon Black was the first of a 2-part game. They released Pokemon Black 2 a bit later, where you were actually able to complete this storyline, find N, and all these really, really cool things. I really do hope that PokeMMO does add Black 2 so we can see the end of this really, really cool storyline. But it is fun to kind of wrap up this story. Let's do a final price check here for Double Team. And it looks like Double Team, you're making peanuts, so we don't need to worry about that. But that's going to be everything. So that's simply the first side hustle. If you're bored and, you know, from the mundane, you don't want to do your gym rerun, just go ahead and get this done. I'll definitely be releasing more of these kind of fun side adventures or, you know, side quests that you can do in PokeMMO. But regardless, thank you for watching. If you watched all the way to the end and you enjoyed it, please make sure to let me know in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts and consider subscribing to the channel. I do post PokeMMO content pretty frequently, and now I am going to start upping, 1, the quality, and 2, the consistency of my uploads. But thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.